I can hear you great.
Okay. All right. Randy, thank you so much for joining us today, man. I am really excited. It's not very often that you get to hear from a multi-award winning entrepreneur, all kinds of awards, under 30, under 40. It seems like everybody that has achieved any sort of success, I always name drop. Do you know RandyGarn? Yeah, I know RandyGarn. And so it's great to have you on here with us and to provide the incredible value that I know is going to be provided for the people in e-com that are both starting out and those who are trying to go from 7 to 8 figures in that whole spectrum. So thank you for taking the time today.
Oh, no worries, buddy. It's great to be here, and glad that I can help support and hopefully drive some good value for people today.
Absolutely. So before we get into the topic and the presentation, let's chat a little bit about your background, your history, how, the path that led you to this moment in time right now.
Well, I mean, it's been interesting. We were kind of in the very forefront of email marketing. If you talk about the 10,000 hours, it's actually been in customer acquisition, marketing, branding, but more specifically in how to communicate with somebody in such a way that will have them to take action. And so back in 1999, we started our first company, and that grew like crazy. And it was all around, email marketing. We really were one of the pioneers in that. And so now I've found some other interesting ways. You've looked at how social media trends have come into play, and we're developing some other marketing tools and other marketing suites, software programs that are helping with those initiatives and be able to communicate with customers even better.
So in 1999, when you started, were you in college still? Had you graduated? And what did the landscape look like? Did you really have to talk people into believing in the fact that you could market things through email?
Honestly, it feels so similar to what we're doing right now. Is people are just like, how are you going to reach people? Email marketing was just really getting started, and it was way before, any of the issues that we have now. Is basically Hotmail, right? And I still actually had a good friend of mine that still has a Hotmail account. And I'm so jealous. I wish I would have kept mine. But when you got into a Hotmail inbox, then like in 2001 or 3, you're like the king. And so, we really pioneered a lot of ways to, do email marketing. Like, oh my gosh, look at the subject line, to writing copy, to how you get inbox, to working with all these affiliates and advertisers and ad tech, and the whole world just exploded. But back in 99, it was really it was pioneering an industry. And, now we've got all of your email campaigns and, amazing companies like ClickFunnels and Infusionsoft and HubSpot, and look at all the companies now that never even existed back then. And we really did help pioneer a lot of that. We sold well over 6 million digital ebooks online, and we were kind of the godfathers of the space back in the day, if you will. And so it was a ton of fun. We grew, several really fun companies through that. But it stemmed from being able to communicate with customers really well.
So did you kind of have that vision from the get-go? You said, hey, look, here's a medium. People are reading this in their home. It's not junk mail. I think that this will become a viable communication method, and kind of plan that out in your brain? Or was it something that just you kind of stumbled across and, oh, hey, let's try shooting an email out? What was the path to actually think through that email marketing company?
When it happened, we were really doing online education as well. So not just pioneering email, but we are also pioneering the whole training and online education space at the same time. And so we were spending money on television ads. We were spending money on radio. We were spending money on direct mail, which are still awesome channels. If you know how to do them well. And then this new medium came up. It's like, oh my gosh, we might be able to reach customers and clients this way. And so this was back, we weren't even graduated from college. I was just a junior in college, and we'd won the business plan for the company that we decided to grow with the entrepreneur school at the college we were attending. And really, we were trying all the mediums. We were trying everything: radio, direct mail, TV. And we said, man, let's try this medium of email. And it really just exploded. Conversions were higher than ever, better than ever. And, you're being able to reach people where they were at. And keep in mind, this was pre smartphones. People were not getting their emails on their smartphone when we started. And then that started to roll out, and it just got funner and funner and funner as we build it.
So did you guys have to build software to actually be successful at that? Or was there software that kind of helped you market initially?
No, I mean, we spent actually quite a bit of money on software as we grew it. And, and that's why I look at some of the companies that have built phenomenal software programs. It's not easy to do. And architecting software and building out a software company is not an easy feat. And so, yeah, we did go down some of that route. The more software that we built was actually more of a CRM and more for our customers and clients, more than it was a delivery system. We actually, we tried all of the different big systems. We ended up using Eloqua quite a bit for our email delivery system. I think we were one of their very, very first customers, if you're familiar with that platform. It was super fun. And I think the funnest part of it was writing copy that converted. Once you got the inbox, then I was looking on what copy really worked well. And we had an amazing team that got really, really good at writing that email copy.
So a lot of the guys, when they kind of got through that .com era, sold their companies, had some success, they kind of just rode off into the sunset. Mm-hmm. What did life look like for you after that?
I mean, I got really passionate about customer acquisition and once we'd grown our company and I'd exited that, I really got into the VC and private equity space. We also built another company up that I ended up selling just last November. And it was more on helping companies with what is their marketing strategy and medium. And then we'd help them with finding the right funding partner and helping them with growth through different, strategies. We teach them strategy, execution, but then also help them find the right either strategic partners or funding that they needed. And so I did that for 4.5, almost 5 years after. And then I got the entrepreneurial itch again, and then wanted to jump back in and really get my hands in the meatloaf again with some companies, and started another company called Scipio. And it reminds me back of 99 of 99. If you remember the Prince song, it's party like it's 1999. I feel like that again in 2017 with some of the software and some of the programs that we're building right now.
Dude, there's no better feeling than just that feeling of absolute excitement. I've gone through stages with various companies of mine where I've completely lost the passion. And I don't go to bed at night because I know I have to wake up in the morning and go into the office. And to leave that and then be passionate about something again is a, not to be sacrilegious or anything, but for me, it was like a mini resurrection where I felt like I got my life back. And so I'm happy to hear that. It's really funny because lingo has kind of changed, and there's so many millennials that are popping in, and they use different verbiage. And one of the things that they consistently ask is they'll ask me, and I'm going to ask you, what is your superpower? Like, because they're big, we've got all these Marvel movies coming out and stuff like that. And so we would call that something like, innate competitive edge or whatever, an experience that allowed us what we were exceptionally good at. But for you particularly, Randy, what is your superpower that allowed you in 99 to achieve success consistently and continue to push your career forward to where it is today? What is that one thing that you would attribute it all to, more than any of the other smaller personality attributes or, whatever the word is I'm looking for?
In my particular superpower, if I could say one thing, it is understanding truly, honestly, the law of reciprocity. And that our whole business that we'd set up is we didn't actually charge anybody any money. We just did a revenue share with all the speakers and authors and thought leaders that we worked with. But before a lot of them even became partners, I understood, man, if I can help you get what you want, then they will come back and it will feed that funnel of business for you. And I learned that I've been on, Harvey McKay's board roundtable for years. And I remember hearing him the very first time, he wrote Swim with the Sharks, and he's a great friend. He lives, in Phoenix, and I've spent so much time with him, but he really taught me that if you really live that law of reciprocity and understand it, it's driving value for other people. And I think I have a really good knack for helping drive value first, and either doing an introduction or helping them with copy or helping them with a business model way before I even ask for anything. I've just noticed that one thing is so huge. We own a private fly fishing resort up in Star Valley, Wyoming. And before we do anything, I'll go build relationships with that potential customer or somebody I want to do business with, and building that relationship and saying, okay, what are your needs? What can I do to help support you? And really opening those doors up for people is my superpower to be able to continue to build my network, my net worth, my friendships, my partnerships. And I think that one superpower, or that one skill set, is going to be something that will drive revenue for me throughout my lifetime.
Man, I think you nailed it right on the head. And that's why everyone also knows you, is because of that. I had an experience early on, probably 11 years ago, where I was bringing a bunch of guys out. We were knocking, and I asked one of the guys for a favor, and he said, "What's in it for me?" And I paused, and I could not get over that statement. It literally just stuck with me. I talked to my wife about it over and over, and the way it made me feel was what precisely made me decide that I was not going to live my life like that. And so I spent years listening to Napoleon Hill, and man, 17 Laws of Success. It's one of the lesser known books of his, but it's a huge 3-part series, and he goes in depth about the law of reciprocity. Yeah. And that's incredible. That makes a lot of sense to me now, Randy, because I talk with a lot of people who know who you are, and you've got some people that are out there, that are just, they're in the middle of everything and everyone knows them, but they don't speak with with the same appreciation. So that's awesome, man. I appreciate you saying that. That personally means a lot to me as well. So let's talk a little bit about Scipio. Here we are. We're in 2017. It's funny. There's 2 schools of thought. Some people say the e-com trend is completely gone. Here's my personal feeling. It's like the wild, wild west right now. I mean, the gold rush hasn't even started. It's like we're still staking land out. Yeah. Gold is going to be found everywhere. You've identified a segment of the marketing market that is not just underserved, it's completely overlooked because of all the flashy, shiny objects that, are now coming out. Can you explain Scipio and specifically how it helps e-com entrepreneurs?
Yeah, Scipio, if you go to scipio.com and check it out. But what it does is it adds an additional communication process and sales process to what you're currently doing. And what I mean by that is it is a whole nother layer to your direct mail campaigns or email campaigns or television campaigns. When I talk to a lot of people, they're like, so I don't need to do email anymore. I just need to use Scipio. And I say, no, you need to do both. It's not an and or, it's just an and, which is freaking awesome, because it's like, how do I get a lift on my email campaigns? How do I get a lift on my infomercial that I'm running? Or how do I get a lift on TV? And then how do I communicate with that customer once I get them in as a customer? So we developed Scipio. It really is a simple thing. And when I'm telling you, it is texting in a really awesome software that allows you to build campaigns just like ClickFunnels or Infusionsoft. It allows you to send videos and link tracking and be able to also do see who opens, when they open, what your open rate is, and click-through rate on a texting campaign. And so we've taken the art of email marketing and traditional marketing and just laid on top of that a texting software and solution to be able to do just that. Reach your people where they're at. We know that email open rates are going down and down and down. What happens if you sent an email and then sent them a text right after and just said, hey, I just sent you a really awesome email. Make sure you open it up. Or what if in that text you could drive them to a landing page, or also just drive them to a video that, if you're a thought leader or if you're a service-based company, explaining your service to them and letting them know, hey, if you'd like to learn more, here's my personal texting number. And it's changing the game, because open rates on text are about 98%. And they're read and responded to within 45% of those are read and responded to within 2 minutes. And so there's nothing higher right now in the market than being able to do text marketing appropriately. And I will say appropriately, because there's a difference between short code, long code. There's also a tremendous difference, and I could get into this too, and I get way excited about, is even how you write copy for text is completely different than how you'd write an email.
So to put it in terms for people who, one of the popular softwares that we use is Klaviyo with Shopify. Mm-hmm. The reason why people use Klaviyo is because of the power of the flow. Right. And Scipio has its own flow. You guys call it something else, but it's being able to say, so if I back up a little bit, dude, I never check my voicemail. I know you don't, because I've listened to your message, which is the exact same message that I have. Yeah. I've got about 20,000 unread emails. Wow. And it stresses my wife out. Like, she wants me to go through and delete them, and I just can't. I mean, what if there's something valuable in there? I'll never look at it, but the fact that it's in my inbox, yeah, I've got that safety net. But I've only got a handful of unread text messages. Mm-hmm. People think that Messenger and communication through that way is also. Here's the problem. I'm actively using all kinds of Messenger campaigns. I love it. I do broadcasts, but I also have about 5,000 unread Messenger messages. I've got 3 VAs that just try to catch up on my Messenger messages. But I solely, myself, manage my texts. Nobody else does. And so the power of being able to use if-then statements, if they open this, then do that. If they responded here, then go there. That allows, I mean, you've entered the intimate space of their phone, and of the most intimate places on their phone, because the phone goes everywhere with you, from the bathroom to the dinner table. I mean, it's everywhere. It interrupts date night and everything. But the text messages, that's where we absolutely spend our heartfelt time. That's where we communicate with people that mean the most to us. So I think that's incredible. Do you guys load a pixel? Is that how you track the data?
Yeah, we can. I mean, there's a few things that we can do, and I'd be happy to share a little.
Yeah, please do.
Here, I'm actually looking to pull this up here.
I see your screen, Zoomtopia. I see it.
You see my screen. So I'm gonna actually go over to. I need to pull up my. Let me pull this up real quick. Hold on 1 second here, and I'll share with you a little bit about how this all works. Because you're exactly right. Like, how do you get in the flow? And can you see my screen now?
Yep, I see it.
Like, texting, it ain't what you think. Because a lot of people, about 85% of consumers want to receive a text, and you think about it, we're actually changing the way we communicate. Even with emojis, you think about it, what's the fastest way to be able to get your message across and make decisions quickly? It is texting. And a lot of times it's spoken, it's not written word, right? And, a lot of email is like you're crafting it up in such a way that it's actually a spoken word. We're not texting in written language. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
It does make sense. So to reiterate, what you mean by that is that in an email, we're writing more long form content, and in a text message, I'm sending a thumbs up, and people understand what that means immediately without the need for a paragraph.
Exactly. Just think about this. We filled a whole entire event with over 300 people, all via text. We didn't send out one email. Not, and guess what? They paid to be there. And guess how they registered?
Via text.
Via text and via a thumbs up. As soon as they sent a thumbs up,
No way.
system automatically sent them a link to register.
That's awesome.
And so you think about all that you can do, and that would have been an email copy that went out longer. Hey, we've got this event. It's going to be at the Four Seasons at this and this such date. Click this link below to register. If you'd like to invite a friend, be here. That you're only getting a certain amount of people to read that. I'm saying keep doing that because you're going to still get them. I'm just saying add on to that. Hey, we're going to be doing an event at the Four Seasons. Would you like to come? Give me a thumbs up if you're in. Bam. Off the charts, bro. Off the charts.
Awesome.
So there's now a new thing. You know, Bob McDonald, he was the CEO of Procter & Gamble, and he said, you know, with digital technology, it's now possible to have a one-on-one relationship with every customer in the world. The more intimate the relationship, the more indispensable it becomes. So one thing that texting does, and we always talk about this, is, man, how do you get to people quick? Back in '99, guess what? Email was so freaking fast. People actually read their email. It was the same thing I'm dealing with right now with Scipio. They're like, oh my gosh, we just got 20,000 orders. Or we just got, look at all these open rates. It's going nuts. And then all of a sudden over the years, 2001, 2004, it just got lower and lower and lower as that space filled up. The thing that's interesting about text right now is it is the most intimate form of communication. You wouldn't want to send a text to them that doesn't feel personal, right?
Yeah.
Email right now is very promotional. And then now we've got different folders. You probably have your social media folder and your spam folder and then your inbox folder, right?
For sure. Yeah.
And you go in your promotional folder and you push delete and get rid of everything you don't even.
Yeah, it's true.
Unless it's for one of your own events.
Yep.
So now just think of being able to do that. Everyone's going to see it, but you do not want to send out a promotional text. You want to be more friendly. You want to be able to drive that, especially if you have a customer base. We also use Scipio it's just so much faster to be able to reach people, and the response rates are off the charts. So those are some of the things that Scipio allows you to do as you go through it. It's just, you've got to make sure that you got to understand that texting is going to start to really be a tremendous form. I don't know what you're doing right now on your banking or for insurances or even with AT&T or with Apple. How are you now getting in? They're asking you for what? They're asking you for your cell phone number.
Yeah.
They're not even starting to ask for. They're not even asking for your emails as much anymore. They understand that people do not change their cell phone number. So now there's a medium that wasn't available before that's now crept in. And what I'm trying to do is just be the forefront thought leader in how to do text marketing appropriately.
So walk me through a case scenario with e-commerce.
Okay. One thing on the e-commerce space is just look at it like if you've got an email campaign going out, think about, man, how would I craft that up how would I craft an email up in a text? It's gonna be quick, right to the point, and it's gonna also be friendly. It's gonna be, hey Jim, because our software can actually populate. If you have 3,000 people, it'll populate. Hey Jim, hey Roger, hey Stan. Hope you're doing well. I'm launching my new book, and I'd love for you to get a copy of it. What's the best email to send it to? Or I'd love to give you a free copy. Click the link below, and it'll help you get a free copy. You could do a survey. You could do, a lead capture form right there, or you could have a sequence of emails that would give them a chapter every single week.
Awesome.
And so, Russell just launched his new book that is just freaking phenomenal, Expert Secrets. He used Scipio and put, if you see on there, 720-575-5755. And that actually sent you, as soon as you text in the word expert, you got a video from Russell thanking you for doing it. And then it gave you a sequence and got you ready to read his book and got you excited about it. And you're like, my gosh, that was freaking awesome. He did it. It was phenomenal. You can use it on, live events from stage. Scipio allows you to do keywords. Rudy spoke in Scottsdale the other day to about 22,000 people. And all you had to do is text Rudy to the number above up on the screen. And, he got thousands of people that opted into his campaign.
22,000 people, Randy?
Yeah, when he spoke at the event, there wasn't 22,000 that opted in, but there were thousands.
Yeah, no, that's incredible. What event was that?
It was for a direct sales company that he was speaking at.
Interesting.
So you can use it for product sales at events as well. We have a partner that's using ours. We've got an amazing partner, Michael Koenig's using it, and he's going to try to do all the sales from using text. He wants all sales in his entire event, and I'm going to be there with him in October and using it all via Scipio to be able to text somebody the link to buy right there. You don't got to get out of your seats, but guess what he's doing? He's showing up on screen, everybody that buys, and it creates that frenzy. Bing, 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 bing.
Oh, that's awesome.
You can show everything.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And so those are some pretty fun case studies. The other thing is that using it on social media, how do you acquire customers on Instagram or Facebook? If you look at each of these, Brendan's using it for his event. He spoke at another company and used it. And then he actually had everybody fill out a survey for his Experts Academy. For his high performing habits survey that showed everybody in the audience. And he spoke to about 20,000 people, another friend of mine at a direct sales company. And then he delivered a survey to them. And then he delivered that survey back to the CEO and said, here's where all your people are struggling. Here's where their strengths are. Here's where you can help them have more high performance. But now guess what? All those people opted into his. Now he can communicate with them.
That's incredible. So I've got a question. I hope this doesn't throw you off your flow.
Yeah.
In like 2 or 3 weeks, the one-click patent that Apple has had for like 20 years is coming up. And now everyone's jumping on the bandwagon of one-click sales or whatever the case may be. Facebook cleverly is trying to get everyone to put their credit cards into Messenger so you can easily just send, the pitches, send your friends payments. Whereas as marketers, we understand the whole reason they're trying to do that is to recreate what Amazon has, which is, 75% of Amazon users have active credit cards.
Right.
So that when my Facebook rep told me that the goal is to have one-click purchases with Facebook Messenger integration with e-com platforms, which is something that we would, it's hard to even describe what that means. Someone being able to just click one button, not go through the whole checkout process. How are you guys seeing that as something that you want to take advantage of? Because online marketers, we're highly focused on the ease of checkout to reduce our issues with conversions.
Yeah, it is. It's actually completely on our product roadmap. We're working right now on an integration with Scipio and Instant Messenger with Facebook.
Awesome.
We'll have, we understand a big part of our growth is how to do API integration with, HubSpot, with all of the companies that are doing this, and Facebook being one of those, is how do we integrate an API in with right there where people are communicating in with Messenger. Because I don't know about you, I'm not on Facebook all the time, but I've always got my phone and text with me.
Yeah.
So what if you could integrate that? But we're working on solutions as well. We don't have it built yet, but we will, where you can actually do the, one-click buy, where you have a link. Like, for example, Trevor, if you have customers that have already bought something for them and you want to send out, let's say they bought a book from you last year, you just finished a new book and you want to send it out and use your same credit card, that we're going to be able to have all that pre-populated. We're working on all that.
That's huge. That's absolutely huge.
A really cool process that we're working on right now. It's not quite ready, but hopefully by the end of the year, it will be ready to go.
I'm excited to have Apple move through the rumor mill and actually make it so that your fingerprint is accessible to marketers. Because that's when all of a sudden we blow it up, is when all of a sudden you get a text message, buy this book, fingerprint that, bam, it's charged, and that's it. Not even a button.
No, and I think it is coming, and it's just a matter of time when it will be there. But there are so many fun things. But we've really seen that also. The other place where we're using Scipio is on declines, and a lot of customers. We've got some huge car dealerships that are using it on their car financing, or a gym We've got a lot of gym franchises that are using Scipio. And if they get a decline, the member didn't pay that month or they switched their credit card, we're actually being able to use Scipio to just, instead of send them a direct mail, but you know how it is. Like if by the time you get the direct mail and says, hey, your credit card was declined, you may not want to cancel, but then you've got to fill that out. You got to back in.
It just doesn't happen.
Or somebody's calling you and you don't recognize the number. Yeah. We're seeing humongous lift on people that have monthly continuity programs, like gyms or insurance or, mortgage companies or, internet marketers, right? We all have got a monthly subscription. You use a text and just be like, hey, Roger, how are you doing today? Just want to let you know your card declined. Here's an easy link for you to just fill out. Let's get you going back again. That is free off the hook, where instead of getting a cold direct mail letter that says your credit card has been declined, if you don't send this in the next year, will be canceled. There's just a whole different feel to it when you're personalizing that, even when it's about, capturing, money. They may say, you know what, I'd like to cancel, or, hey, sorry about that. Then you can start working stuff out, but you can have a two-way conversation. It's not short code. You got to be careful to understand the difference between short code and long code. Do you know what that is?
Well, short code is like the 5 digits, the 5-digit telephone numbers.
Right. It's a 5-digit telephone numbers. And what do you feel like when you get one of those?
Well, the only ones I get are people trying to get me to go to raves. So it's like, how'd they get my number in the first place,
Exactly. Usually it's from like my dentist or, a marketing promotion to go to, another game or.
Yeah, it's marketing. It is. Yeah.
You're on a list. The way that we've set up Scipio is it's not it actually is not a group text, but it is sending out thousands of texts at once that are one-on-one, and it is allowing you to it's allowing you to feel that very personal connection. So it's pretty awesome. But it's a 10-digit number that's coming from you, from your personal cell phone number. You can be like, hey, this is Trevor, this is my VIP number. I'd love to let you know about an event that we have coming up here that is going to be all of the best internet marketers happening in September. Here's how you register. I'd love to have you on it. Show's going to start here in a few hours. Look forward. Just click the link below, and we'd love to have you on the show.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Tons of great things you can use it for. Does that make sense?
Totally makes sense, man. It's exciting.
No, what are some of the other things that you think, as we talk here, is applications for it?
I'll tell you where the big buzz is right now. There was one app that came out, and it's attempting to hit all channels for abandoned carts. Okay. And they're having huge success rate with text messaging. And I'm seeing guys go from 2% conversion up to 6%, up to 8%. And the difference between this new app and all the others is simply that they shoot a text out. That's it. And so that the abandoned carts, that's like just such a huge pain point for us. To integrate in that way and craft a message that people expect you to email them when they abandon the cart. People do that just so they can get a coupon code, Right. To be hit with the text that's personal, huge, maybe even a video,
And that's the thing is, like with Scipio, we have MMS, so you can do video, you can do links, you can do an additional flyer, and that just helps your lift like crazy. And so we're actually working on a few campaigns right now where we have our full landing pages are just a text for the capture.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so we're actually having huge success with that, where we're actually not asking for an email. We're just asking for their cell phone number to shoot them a text so that they can see Scipio in action.
So
we're doing that right now.
That's super interesting, and I'll tell you why. I was just up in Idaho at one of Russell's little things with his affiliates. He brought up his top 20 affiliates, and I talked to them about page load time, because there's these concepts out in the internet marketing world. It's like, oh, ugly pages convert better. Pages on the opt-in pages that don't have a video for some reason convert better than pages with a video. And I was like, I want to understand why. And as I started to analyze things, when you're loading a page with a video, you're loading 13 megabytes to a mobile device usually, and it takes 31 seconds. If they're not convinced, they're not staying around. The reason why ugly pages convert better isn't because they're ugly. It's because beautiful pages take way too long to load. And so to eliminate that with just a field and then gather the data afterwards through a follow-up sequence. Huge, man. Absolutely huge.
Yeah. And again, what I'm saying is, man, do both. But then shoot them a text with the landing page that does come quick and fast.
Yeah.
Most people on their cell phones, it is going to come faster than at work. And a lot of people aren't looking at stuff at work all day, especially the people you're trying to reach on the internet marketing space. Guys like us aren't sitting at their desk all day. I maybe sit at my desk and check my computer maybe twice a day. The rest of the time I'm working with my teams. I'm in meetings or I'm at lunch, and I'm always on my phone. And so you can always have that. So deliver it where that customer is.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So sound.
So the nice thing is just like you were talking about that cart abandoned with Scipio. If you look on the screen too, you can do, customer nurturing campaigns or lead nurturing campaigns. You can do it before the campaign or even once they become a customer. You can set up a whole sequence of campaigns through that. And that's what I'm saying is that don't use, if you look at this, it's email, text, voicemail, text, email, direct mail. You may think of a whole new sequence. That's what everybody thinks about is, man, how do I incorporate text in my current sequence of email, voice broadcasting, and direct mail?
So you can send straight voicemails straight to there and skip the actual ringing with Scipio.
Yeah, we do have the it's called ringless voicemail. And you can set it up. There's ringless voice drops or ringless voicemail, and that's part of Scipio too. It's just not texting, but it also includes the voice broadcasting. Yeah. And so you can set it up where it goes straight to their voicemail. And what we've done is we've actually set it so it does half a ring. We've actually seen that actually increases the conversion rate too.
That is amazing. That's really cool. Awesome. So lastly, this is more of a personal question, but I really enjoy asking people this. What's your routine as an individual? What time do you wake up? What time do you go to bed? How do you plan your day?
That's actually great. That's a great question. I actually, and let me get this off this screen real fast here. I love to do a few things. One of the things that I do love to do, I have 6 kids, bro. I've got 6 crazy kids, and I love more than anything is to spend time with them. But as far as like getting in a good routine, I'm having another birthday here, so I'm thinking about, man, how in the world am I going to really make these last few years work? So my routine is I wake up every single day at 5:30. I've really got into road biking. I totally get my exercise in and meditation in before I really start the day. And that's been super, super helpful for me, is to be able to stay in touch with things both physically and mentally before the day even starts. And that's been a great routine. I try to also on Saturdays and Sundays, I try to use those as kind of recharge days. On Saturdays, I just try to spend those as much as I can with the family, because for me, that's most important. I talk a lot about having the home court advantage. If things aren't right at home, they can't be right in business. It's just so much. You can't ever lose that sight. And that's just my own personal opinion. And I have an amazing wife, amazing kids, and a beautiful home where we live. And I just feel like I'm in the zone right now. I'm in the flow. And so that's what I try to do. I try to work out, exercise, get my mind right every single morning. I try to go to bed at 11:30 every night. So I try to actually get enough sleep. A lot of entrepreneurs are like, man, I didn't sleep. That's not me. I try to, wake up at 5:30, get to bed at 11:30, and then take Saturdays and Sundays for my family and God.
So have you always been a morning person, or did you have to make that happen?
I've always been a morning person. I grew up in Idaho.
So lucky, man.
We had 300 head of cows and horses. It was always ox was in the mire always. So I've always woke up early and kind of my body's attuned to that. So it's good because it's so quiet. I know that if I don't work out or read in the morning, it ain't getting done. So
I'm in the process of trying to become a morning person. I do my best work from about 1 to 4 at night.
Yeah.
Because my family's asleep then.
Exactly.
And I would like to switch that out and wake up at 5 or 6 or something, have a few hours before they wake up. That's interesting, man. Very, very interesting. So just two more things. I know I keep saying one last question, but these things are really, I'm so curious about people's routines because I think that that is key to achievement. Are you a pen and paper guy, or are you an app person regarding goal setting, daily schedule, etc.?
That's I've switched. I've now switched from pen and paper to doing everything on my iPad Pro and Notes, and that's been in the last year. And so I do keep everything, all reminders and all of that. I've actually loved the iPad Pro because I can take it anywhere, and I'll have my laptop up, and then if I'm going to do notes, I've got it right there and set reminders. So I've actually just recently switched from pen and paper to using that.
And so you use the Notes app, or do you use like Evernote? Or Evernote has an app where you can write with the pen, the Apple Pencil or whatever.
I use Evernote.
You use Evernote. Gotcha. Awesome. Randy, dude, thanks so much for the time. Super, super appreciate it. It's incredible. It's always it's so funny because my whole life I tried to I was like, I've got to find a mentor. And it just, I've only been able to do that from afar. And so I appreciate being able to chat with openly, people who are much further down the path from me. And I know that everyone listening feels the same. So appreciate that. How can people contact you if they've got questions either about Scipio or anything else?
Yeah, I mean, the best way to contact me, you can email me at randy@scipio.com, or you can actually send me a text at 801-332-9909, and just text the word Scipio, and that'll send you everything. That comes right to my cell phone. I've got both I've got my own personal number in here. Scipio gives you a whole new phone number within your same phone. And so you get two phone numbers with one phone. And so, but yeah, just shoot me a text at 801-332-9909 and just text me Scipio, and it'll share with you everything that it does. And then I'll be able to stay in touch with you.
Hey, awesome, man. Thank you so much.
All right, buddy. You're awesome, Trev.
Chat soon.
All right. Bye-bye.